All right. Oh, you are there. Okay. We got a lot to cover. I know everybody's excited for this. We're almost at the end. We're saving some of the best sessions for the end. I know you actually have a lot to share, Aaron, or AOX, and I really appreciate you stepping in to help Namebase and Handshake in general. So I will, CTO of Namebase. I know you've been working super hard. I know it's a lot of things. So you're going to be sharing some of the updates. I think some people have seen already the last week. It's really great to see some. I think everybody's just excited to see the iterations at Namebase because I know it's been some time. So I'm really excited. I know there's a lot to announce. I'm just going to get out of your way, and I'll be behind the scenes. So thank you, Aaron. Take it away.
All right. Thank you. Sharing my screen so you don't have to look at my face. I'm just going to do a quick background on myself. I'm a developer. I've been into domains for a long time. I originally got into like .io domains like 5 or 6 years ago, and kind of got into the domain investment side through .io domains. And then I created a site, domain.io, which is kind of like portfolio management for Web 2 domains, ICANN domains. And then over a year ago, I created a site called ens.tools, which tracks ENS domains and their marketplace or their aftermarket. I sold that recently, so I don't run that anymore. I've always thought that like domains and identity are the best possible uses of blockchain. I've been watching blockchain for forever. And two fun facts about me. I started the ENS 10K club along with Daniel Got Hits, which became a huge thing. I could have never have predicted it got that big. There's been so many like clubs that split off of that, and so I, once it went from like 4 numbers to 3 numbers, or 3 numbers to 4 numbers. After that, like 5 numbers and all the crazy clubs. I never thought it would keep growing, but it's kind of interesting seeing like the NFT collector community come to domaining, where they're learning about like what a 3L means, or like a dictionary name, and start using those terms. Another fun fact is how I got started with Namebase. Is I was on a Domain Name Wire podcast with Mike Carson. The title of the podcast was HNS, Handshake versus ENS. And I was arguing the ENS side a while ago. And so Richard from Namecheap listened to the podcast, and he reached out to me, and we had a long discussion. And over the last like 2 years, I've been in following Handshake, and my main obsession was SLDs, decentralized SLDs. And so he had kind of the same vision that he wanted to see Handshake move more towards identities and to have decentralized SLDs. So he brought me on to work on that, and then I ended up taking over as CTO in October. As Mike mentioned, Namebase didn't make a lot of progress for a while. That's because the whole original team left. So when you have no like technical knowledge passed down from the previous team, it's really hard to get started. So there was some engineers from Namecheap, but it's just tough. You really need you also, you also need knowledge of Handshake in general. It's just a whole different world than regular domains. So we were fortunate enough to get Nodar, who's a core contributor, come help us with the insane wallet stuff. Namebase runs a custom version of Handshake wallet software, and it does all of its bulk stuff. It's all custom code, and so one of his priorities is to basically bring in the public, kind of merge the public code together, and like bring some of the features that we have that the open source doesn't have, and kind of bring them in line. So yeah, all the work he's doing will go to the open source wallet as well. And then we hired took some time. We hired additional team from within the Handshake community, so they already understood what Handshake is about and what like Namebase needed. We got Stefan from Niami, Fernando Falchi from Sim Papeles, Alex Neto has been in Handshake for a long time. He's our lead designer. Nathan Woodburn, John Favreau, Chris K, Maria, and Sam Ward is a name that you might not have seen around as much, but he's contributed to ENS and has a bunch of successful smart contract projects on the ENS side. So he's helping us with the DSLDs. So took us a while, but now we have a great team to handle issues, and we're able to start building cool stuff. It didn't help that like the wallet, we went through that huge wallet issue right as everybody was starting. But moving on. So we have a new marketplace. This is kind of phase one of the new marketplace. We admittedly tried to get it out before HandyCon. So we heard loud and clear that we didn't have bulk search up there as a top necessary feature, but it was, and so we got it back on. The plan is to make it better than it was before. We're not gonna lose any features. So like one of the things you couldn't do before is just like literally search for names that match a keyword that you're looking for. So you can do that now. You could search for names that start with a keyword. That doesn't seem right. But so you can exclude hyphens, numbers, underscores. We're gonna make this all better. You'll be able to include those things as well if you want to look at just numbers. We want to add. We need to kind of define the emoji and like IDN spec that we're gonna go with. I mean, there's kind of been like this like alt IDNA thing that I don't really like. I don't think it's doing anybody any favors. So we're gonna solidify the spec for IDNAs, and then add filters in here so that only like valid puny code IDNA domains are shown. Well, are included in the filter. Yeah, and then we also want to add some of the like clubs and collections that we've seen been popular in the ENS communities, like the 10K club and like just general categories like last names and first names and dictionary words. So yeah, this is phase one. Phase two is to add all those things I was just talking about. Also bring all of those same filters and features to this auctions page. So you can see it's a lot slower. That's because we haven't done the like major optimization that we did for this page. So okay, so everyone's seen the marketplace. I don't know if I said it already, but big shout out to Stefan and Alex for their hard work on this. I think it's a major evolution of improvement over what was there. So moving on to the registry, we've kind of had a few improvements in the works for a while, and we're looking to kind of do it all at once. So one of the things is just kind of like making the like staking process kind of like more clear about what to expect. We some of the registrars that initially worked with us no longer wanted to work, and now they're coming back. So I believe all 5 of these registrars will be accepting active registrations in the next month or two. They have all like reintegrated with our registry. So this is just the pretty stuff, the landing page. So here's what it looks like. You might have seen this with a little bit of this with Play, showing .c and the other talk. So the registry manager, anyone that stakes a TLD will have this page and shows your earnings, your subdomains. And then if you go into like sys.doge, I was fortunate enough to buy off a random person off Twitter, and this manage TLD shows all of the registrations as they come in, your earnings, and you're able to set premium domains that have a higher registration cost, as well as reserved domains that cannot be registered. So I'll just let's see. So like for premium domains, you can have like a whole list of them where you set your prices in a CSV and you upload them. And so that was like I had baby Elon and Elon baby in the CSV. You can set all of your premiums and manage them in a separate spreadsheet, and then like you can add reserved domains easy. So premium and reserved domains basically just go live immediately with EPP. That's not something that registrars care about necessarily. I mean, that's normal. So what we had to kind of rethink was the pricing changes, and so we saw. I don't want to name names, but like a TLD wanted to increase renewal prices, and a popular TLD, and not only like the SLD customers, existing customers, were not too thrilled, but the registrars themselves contacted us and were like, this is not normal. We not only do we usually give people like a year notice before we increase renewal prices, and it's usually limited to like 7% or something per year. So that was actually a really great experience because it opened up a lot of conversation with these registrars about what they expect or what they'd like to see from Handshake and what they expect from a TLD. And so from that, we kind of implemented some new policies. So like, for example, right now you cannot increase renewal prices if you have existing subdomains. So this is kind of like a in-between step. Eventually we'll let you increase up to like 10% per year. But for now, the renewal price you start out with is going to be stuck if anybody registers a domain. The other policy change is that you can't just like disable renewals. Used to, well, I mean, this is basically the same as like running a domain if you can't renew it. I mean, there's, yeah. So the policy is basically to take staking more seriously. If you're going to stake, then you're going to have to serve those customers for as long as they want to keep their subdomains. And we heard yesterday Tom at Encirca talk about, like, you know, the worry of registrars and ITAN is just that our domain systems are going to erode trust with the consumer who, you know, up to this point had never experienced like losing a domain or whatever. So I think we've learned in Handshake, in the industry, you know, over the last year, we had a big trust issue with Gateway kind of just disappearing. We need to prioritize the trust of the subdomain buyers, and it's not always going to be as like flexible for a TLD owner as you might want. But so just to clarify, you can at any time you can like increase registration price, because that's just for new domains, and that's fine. Like one of the things we put into place is it won't go into effect for 30 days, and that's because we notify all the registrars. Do I have 10 minutes left? Is that what that means? Anyway, so you can increase for new registrations. You can decrease registrations. Okay, so this is we just have like a few final like EVP corner cases, and this will be rolling out to everyone in like the next hopefully 2 weeks, I'd say. So moving on quickly, the next thing, HNS ID is kind of the site where the decentralized SLDs will live. We've seen impervious domains successfully kind of launch the same thing. So I just wanted to give a sneak peek at it. we have fully custom contracts that are done. We're getting some audits, security audits done, and then we're gonna open source the smart contracts as well. I mean, yeah. We have Sam Ward that I talked about, who has written the smart contracts. They're like incredibly flexible, especially from like the TLD pricing perspective. It has all of the same rules that I just talked about in for EPP. It has it built into the smart contract. So this is like this is looking at like the SLD page, which is an NFT, a tradable SLD. You can set like profile features. The other thing you can set is like wallet addresses. There's more to come on this as far as wallet naming. We plan to launch with .HNS as the first TLD. We may like maybe the first three TLDs, maybe ones that we control or are in a multi-sig, and that's just to kind of move slowly and make sure things are working well. But like, I'm excited about .HNS. I think we'll find a way to make sure like people in the HNS community get their names. We may reserve some. So this is the exciting part. I think for me is like this is the on-chain registry. So like the .HNS TLD. I'm just like real quickly. You can set the annual pricing by the number of letters. You can set discounts specific to a specific address, and the discounts can be either for renewal or registration, and they can have a time period or no time period. So like one example of this is you would give yourself, as a TLD owner, you might like give yourself a high discount so you could register domains. Another example is if you were like records.domains, you might run your own registrar site where you could interact with the contract directly, and you could give yourself like a discount. So you records.domains would be the cheapest place to go to get those domains, where everywhere else doesn't have that discount. And then royalties, as far as like, so that's SLD trading royalties. I don't know how long those are going to be enforced. Thank you, Blur. But that's something that's nice for a TLD community, is to collect some royalties on like aftermarket trading. How much time do I have? Sorry.
I think we're going to extend you a little bit, and we have, of course, a great session after. But yeah, I think, how much time do you want?
I did just like 5 more minutes, I guess.
Okay, sure, no problem.
So this is TLD. This is on-chain registry, fully transparent. The earnings get streamed to your wallet. You don't have to claim them. The TLDs also become NFTs, like Impervious added. And if you sell the TLD NFT, the new owner gets streamed the royalties and the registrations. So that's HNS ID. I'm really excited about it because of we've had a lot of fires. It isn't as far as long as I'd like, but the the hard parts are done, and that's the smart contract stuff. And so I just want to talk about one more. So just a couple bonus things about Namebase. Okay, that a lot of people have asked about. So we will be requiring a renewal fee for domains on Namebase. We currently have 90% of all Handshake domains, 9 million domains. And when Namebase was built, like renewals were not a worry. They were 2 years away. So the cost has not been announced, but we'll give you like at least 90 days, if not much longer, advance notice. So the cost for domain renewals will be paid in HNS from your account, and you'll be able to manage which domains are set to auto renew and turn some off, and we'll email you 100 times to make sure that you don't want to renew your TLD. So more to come on that. I have publicly talked about shutting down the Pro exchange. The liquidity is not great. It's also the whole thing runs at a loss for us. What we do want to do is, instead of focusing on the trading, like traders of the coin, we want to provide a fast fiat on ramp to buying HNS. So we've looked at MoonPay or Ramp Network, which provide debit cards, international fiat, just much faster ways to get HNS and get into the market and buying domains. That's what we want to focus on, not necessarily the trading of the coin. And then, just a side note, the ACH is slow, and we've also experienced 6 figures worth of fraud in the last 12 months. It's really bad. So there's a number of reasons why we are going to change up how you buy HNS on Namebase, and it's all geared towards focusing more on the names, less on the coin. And finally, the last thing, the last thing I want to say that people have been asking about, and I'm very excited to announce, is that HNS withdrawal, we will enable HNS withdrawal for U.S. customers who have completed KYC in the next month. So direct HNS withdrawal.
That's awesome. I'm really that's a great because I know a lot of people want to, I think people it's getting a lot of great emojis. We're loaded with Q&A. Andrew Lee's here. Actually, JJ can't make it. He's not feeling well, unfortunately. But Andrew Lee's here. I just prepped with him. But I think he even said in chat we could extend a little bit before that great session. But there are still probably so many questions.
Okay. The questions I did real quick. Allocate more resources to marketing. We already run out of loss, so we're doing as much as we can.
There's a lot more people stepping up for marketing. I think this last few days, we'll do some summaries, but yeah, it does seem like Namebase has doubled down on development. I mean, you and many of it's very developer focused, which I think we all appreciate and need, because maybe before there was development, but I feel like while we haven't seen the updates at Namebase, right? You and the team are working really hard, like you said at the beginning, to get to the point where you can start to push updates. So I think the community can start to see a lot of product updates at Namebase. But like you said, you're more like developer focused now. It seems. I think the community can step up on marketing. I think we as a community should help more on marketing, not expect Namebase. Of course, Namebase does, and they did sponsor this event. Was a major sponsor. Thank you, Aaron, for that. And Namebase, but it feels like their operations are more on developer than marketing with the transition.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So the
uh,
next question is, what type of resolver? There's an on-chain resolver, and then as well as a name server like like ns1.hns.id that will resolve on-chain DSLDs. Uh, my perspective on the HNS coin value, honestly, I feel, this is my personal opinion, but I feel like it's really disconnected from the value of the names, partly because of it's the 2-year renewal. I feel like there's not enough use cases for the actual coin, and I think, as like someone said in the very first talk, like that's what people look at is like the HNS coin.
mm.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like the names themselves can serve the purpose of the coin in a lot of it. Like if it was a DAO, you could just use names. Anyway, I don't know what to say about the price of the name. The liquidity is now so bad that it's affecting our ability to like do business. Like we can't like pay TLD owners because the volatility and then liquidity of the coin is so bad. So
I
like
mean, I
for
think you saw Daniel's talk. Daniel, just another shout out or at least announcement. I think he's in the audience. He got invited to some kind of live streaming on YouTube after this event. Totally not related to HandyCon, but Daniel Harrison, he's just a community member, but he's working on getting more exchanges and he's got some positive feedback. But that, again, a lot of people think Namebase is Handshake because there's such a significant part of it, but there's other entities and individuals involved, but hopefully this is going to get solved soon. He's only been working on it for like a month or two, really. He's getting some positive progress.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great. I think we're going to focus on the market and making the names valuable, and make it easy to get HNS in and out of the marketplace. But I don't know what we can do on the coin.
Yeah, I think others, I think basically Namebase, we shouldn't expect them to do everything, right? This is supposed to be a decentralized community, right? They are a private company and a big part of Handshake, but I think our community at Handshake shouldn't just think like other protocols that there's like some foundation that does everything and I'm just some kind of user or customer. We are all directors. We can't just expect Namebase to do everything. Okay, that should be our thought, right? Not like when Namebase do this, when Namebase do that, right? We as a community need to do it, not expect them. Or we're just hypocrites. We might as well just go to other platforms or other solutions. Okay.
So someone asked about like portfolio management. That is a big feature that we're targeting next in the next month or two. As
You can
just like
show on stage if you like the questions,
like
or if you want me to.
just like
And
bulk.
people can upvote questions in the questions tab. You got to vote up to move it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not going to answer if I'm bullish on HNS.
Yeah, you can skip. Obviously, there's some that are maybe not appropriate. You don't have to address everything. And when you're ready, we'll just go to the next session after. I think Andrew's available, and I think he's tuned into
So,
this. But
are we going to complicate the process before renewals fees? No, that's another thing that we want. The process to get your names off, transfer your names off. No, that's something that we really want to improve visibility into before we announce any of the fees. So, like, you'll have visibility. There'll be like rate limited on how many names like a whale can be moving off at the same time. And we hope to have a much better system as far as moving names off. That's part of a requirement, I think, before we enable renewal fees. And then like HNS ID, I hope is launching in the next month. That's That's my best hope. I think that's it.
Okay, you said that's it. Sorry, what was that, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some people talk about dark mode. I see Alex also at Namebase asking why dark mode. I think we all got to realize, Sajjan's talk yesterday, this is a B2B market, right? This is not a, I mean, we're businesses or own TLD owners are businesses. Namebase is a TLD platform. Like if the last few days, it's a handshake, and of course Namebase is a big part of that, is a platform for people that are business owners or entrepreneurs or registrars, right? Just like ICANN, not everybody knows what ICANN is, right? Not everybody knows what VeriSign is. I didn't know those really, right? So we don't need, I don't know, it's not a consumer level product, it's a B2B level product. Okay, but Aaron, really appreciate your time. Yeah, everybody's saying thank you. I mean, I think we all should really give a big shout out. I think bear market is worth people build. Namebase has been building, right? It's been huge updates. While most projects in crypto are collapsing. Of course, the coin looks horrible, but I think um, there's a lot of progress, huge updates. So yeah, everyone's saying thank you, Aaron. Is there any last things you want to say or share? Is there like a feature board? I don't know if or somewhere they could submit these kind of. We'll save these Q&A or Alex, get you or Alex these questions. But
Yeah. I mean, I'll check
there's
back.
some people. There's a lot of different
Yeah.
discussions here.
I mean, yeah, the Namebase was frozen for like a year, so we have plenty of ideas, and it does have a feature board that's been upvoted and stuff. So we have like enough work for the next year.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, I know not everybody's going to be happy with all those updates, but I think you're doing what's best and then some people says, what about a community vote? I saw that. Again, Namebase is a private company. It's not Handshake. I know there's a lot of confusion. And the that's a difference. And maybe the next session we'll talk about that more. We're going to go to the next session with Andrew Lee, which is
I just,
co-founder CEO of Purse. Or you have something
let me
more, Aaron?
let me just add, like, Namebase has not been profitable since it was acquired. So a lot of the complaints, like to Richard or about Namebase, like assume that Namebase is like printing cash, but it's the opposite. So we're doing the best we can, and yeah, we appreciate the patience.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I've been hearing that privately, and yeah, I mean, I think we all know it was a huge transition, right? It was sold, and we're in a bear market, and a whole team changed. So we got to realize it's going to take time, but it looks like we're about to um, really see some huge progress from all the hard work of the transition of the team and the tech and everything. So, so yeah, I think we should be a little bit more patient. And I think we already saw the update about the marketplace. People and you're iterating, like now that you kind of got the base code understanding in a team, you can probably iterate much faster. So you're gonna start to see more iterations. Like the bulk search was added, like you said, you heard that and you implemented it, which is great.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, bulk search was added, right? I think it was Monday or so you went live, and then people were complaining or not complaining or asking for bulk search, and then you guys put it in. So I think that's going to start to be. So I think we should all just realize updates are going to be coming more fast. Coming, I don't want to put pressure. I know you're CTO, you got a lot of stuff, but
Definitely.
Okay.
We want to just announce stuff. And in the past, we've announced a lot and not done it. So we just wanted to ship. And now that we're kind of like past that, we can announce a little more. And now that we have a little more trust, I think.
I guess why he's asking for your old ENS tools searches. Anyway, so thanks, Aaron. It's really great to have you. And yeah, it's totally different. You guys are like maybe the old team is more for marketing than developer, and now you're more developer than marketing. So I think the community needs to step up and help with marketing. We're going to try our best here as a group, and I think there's people just organically, I see in Twitter wanting to make groups and make initiatives. So it's our responsibility as a community. But that's going to go into the next session, which I think is going to be another great one. Okay, Vahid, yes, Telegram group might be the best way to talk about this, but let's make it happen. I think we'll wrap this session up. We're going to go into the Andrew Lee. JJ couldn't make it, but it'll be Andrew Lee. I'll be with him. Thank you again, Aaron. Really appreciate everything. And, let's end this session and see you in the next one.